Guys, hello and welcome to the Liberian TV network. I'm Princess Kedeko. Coming to you live. You can like, share, and comment on our Facebook and YouTube channel. We are right here at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, wherein the telepress briefing is ongoing.
We have a full house because a lot of things is happening in government. The Minister of Public Works, Honorable Giddings, is here. You have Dr. Luke L. Bao, the Managing Director of Liberia Medical and Health Regulatory Authority, LMHRA. We are also expecting the Honorable Labor Minister. They are here to provide you updates on their respective entities. Because as a government, we do believe that a lot of things are happening and need to be talked about to inform the people, the public, about what the government is doing. Before the order here is that the Minister of Public Works will make a presentation, and he will be followed by the LHRA and then the Labor Minister. And then we'll take your questions after we have concluded the presentation. So let me now make the following remarks on behalf of the Government of Liberia. We all know yesterday the President, His Excellency Joseph Boakai, the Labor request addressed his capacity as President of the Republic of Liberia to the 79th section of the United Nations General Assembly. But before yesterday, the President had addressed the General Assembly on two separate occasions when he served as Vice President to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2009 and 2011. Yesterday's address was historic for President Boakai and the government and people of Liberia. As a government, we are elated at the eloquence at which the President delivered his speech to the United Nations about some very pertinent issues that he outlined to the world. The President commented about world peace, security, about the troubling disintegration of airports, the economic community of West African states. We note with keen interest that Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso say they are in the process of establishing their own union, the AES, Alliance of Sahel States. President Boakai urged the United Nations and the AU to intervene to ensure that ECOWAS does not disintegrate further and that Africans can resolve our own issues peacefully. The President noted the challenges facing our country, the illegal drug situation which we have declared a war on as a government, the maternal mortality rate, which is still a problem for us. The President told the world that Liberia has taken note of the observation of the recent UNHCR mission that highlighted maternal and newborn deaths in Liberia as an issue. The President declared to the world that the government would act very quickly to respond to the challenge. The President also told the United Nations General Assembly that his arrest agenda is very much aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and that the agenda prioritizes employment for Liberia's young people, who constitute about 60% of the national population. The President touched on climate change and the contribution that Liberia can make to deal with the effects. He touched on the war in the Middle East and called for total ceasefire, and that both Israel and Palestine to come together to work towards a peaceful resolution of the conflict and to achieve a two-state solution to end the war. The president also called for peace in Russia and Ukraine war and urged the parties to work out a solution through dialogue and that respects the territorial integrity of Ukraine. These were among the many issues the president touched on. His full speech, members of the press, the president's full speech has been published on the official website of the Ministry of Information, Culture, Affairs and Tourism. The Government of Liberia also, on the margin of the UN General Assembly, the Government of Liberia has signed a 5-year master service agreement with a U.S. technology firm, Sabasco Institute of Technology, for a digital fast track DFT program in Liberia. We are happy to report that the process to digitize Liberia, beginning with government services, has begun. On September 23rd, 2024, the Government of Liberia signed this agreement to implement a digital fast-track program in Liberia over the next 5 years. Under this agreement, it is important to note the firm will support Liberia's undersea connectivity and will upgrade Liberia's internet speed and capabilities. This connection will position Liberia as a regional digital hub. The firm will also build a scalable data center for Liberia to host government services. The firm will implement select digital government services to enhance citizens' interaction, streamline business process, and modernize public sector operations, including services such as e-visa, e-taxes, e-tourism, and more others. The firm will ensure the security of online infrastructure that it will construct for Liberia. Under this agreement and put in place a national computer security incident response team to be able to deal with threats associated with cyber capabilities that they are building. It is important to indicate that Foreign Minister, Madam Cyril Besko-Yanti, signed on behalf of the Government of Liberia in New York. As a government, we understand that Mr. Samuel Tuet, former finance minister under the SYCDC government, has turned himself in yesterday at the court and was granted bail. The government commends every Liberian who believes in the justice system, trust it, to avail themselves whenever there is an issue. A fortnight ago, the Government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Justice and the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, indicted former officials of the immediate past government. Among those indicted was the former finance minister. They faced charges including economic sabotage, criminal conspiracy, among others. We are happy to learn that Mr. Tuet has returned to the country to defend himself against the charges levied against him. We are also happy that Mr. Tuet no longer believes that he is being witch hunted as he previously insinuated. The government of Liberia, under the leadership of President Waka, has no interest in witch hunting anyone. Where the laws of the land are allegedly violated, the right and proper thing to do as a government is to take advantage of the legal process to hold alleged lawbreakers accountable. And Mr. Tuet and those indicted are no exception. This is exactly what the Ministry of Justice and the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission are doing, and we hail them for that. We encourage Mr. Tuet and anyone indicted on criminal charges to trust the legal system and view themselves, clear their names. As a government, we are confident that we have a case against Mr. Tuet and those indicted, and we will prove it in the court. We encourage Mr. Tuet and his colleagues to meet us at the theater of justice, where matters of law are adjudicated. Mr. Tuebon was posted and accepted, and we understand that he has been released on bail. This is the rule of law that we pray for. This is democracy at work. The government continues to welcome eye-opening comments from members of the clergy and the civil society, but notes that President Bouaga is wise enough to steer the ship in the direction in which he determines fate as a captain. We have been reading news headlines, and we see that the former president of the Liberia Council of Churches, the Reverend Cotubran, appears to be, say that there are people who appear to be Jonah in the government of President Bouaga, and he's urging the president to throw them out. As a government, we thank Reverend Brown for his continuous engagement on issues of national concern and encourage every Liberian to get involved. The president also followed these comments as they help us to see things that we may probably overlook. However, we want to assure Bishop Brown and every Liberian that our president is competent, capable, and wise. And whenever he determines that a particular official is a Jonah, unquote, as Bishop Brown says, the president will act decisively. Until that time, the president has not made any determination. As of today, the president has explicit confidence in those he has appointed, and he believes they are doing the best they can to help deliver on the arrest agenda. Public comments and engagement are always welcome, and we thank Bishop Brown and every Liberian for remaining engaged with the government. The recent FOCA summit, where our president returned from in Asia, and you heard that there were a lot of commitment, memorandum of understanding, some term it as agreement, gentleman agreement, MOU. They are now beginning the yield results. One of several companies from China that signed one of those memorandum of understanding with the government to undertake investment in Liberia arrived in the country this week. The China National Complete Engineering Corporation, the CNCEC, signed an MOU for an initial $100 million investment portfolio to cover energy infrastructure development in Liberia. The group is in the country today. They paid a quality visit on Mika yesterday to discuss their intentions for Liberia. The group plans to tackle the road construction between 12th Street in Single and Cassidy Boulevard on the Japan Freeway. Their initial investment portfolio also includes solar energy development, the modernization of the Rabat International Airport. We are grateful that the group has immediately followed up their pledge to our government, and they are here in the country to do their assessment. The investment is part of the $50 billion package announced for Africa by Chinese President Xi Jinping at the recent FOCA summit. These investments are happening over the next 3 years, so we can expect some serious transformation projects as a country. Again, as a government, we remain grateful to China and the rest of our international partners for supporting our government to deliver on its promise. Then lastly, before we take our guests, we are pleased to report that the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and its executive board approved a 40-month extended credit facility, ECF arrangement in the tune of $210 billion for Liberia. The IMF management and executive board made an approval at a board meeting on Wednesday, September 25, 2024. The government of Liberia is glad the decision of the board. It signifies our worthiness to benefit from continuous support from the IMF and other international partners. The IMF support will assist us in reform efforts to address macroeconomic imbalances and establish the foundation for increased private sector-led growth beyond the natural resource sector. Finance Minister, Mr. Augustine P. Gafwan, has termed the achievement as a momentous step in ensuring that Liberia trends the path fiscally responsible and sustainable development. He notes that the IMF board decision is an expression of confidence in the partnership between Liberia and the IMF. The Finance Development Minister also thanked President Waka for his exemplary leadership role and commitment throughout the process. As a government, we are excited at this news and we hope you will join us as well. On that note, we will now invite to the podium